East Hampton Town Board, we are live.
Great. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the East Hampton Town Board meeting of February 1st, 2024. Carol, could you please read the roll call?
Councilmember White.
Present.
Councilmember Lees.
Present.
Councilmember Rogers.
Present.
Councilmember Colabiba.
Present.
Supervisor Burke Gonzalez.
Present. If everyone could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So tonight we have one public hearing that's followed by public portion, and we respectfully ask that you keep your comments to 3 minutes because there's a number of folks that want to speak tonight. And then we move on to resolutions. But before we begin, we have Hugh King here who wants to talk about witchcraft.
Okay, it's February 1st, 1657 in the town of East Hampton. The town is roiled with controversies. Sound familiar?
No.
Well, in the middle of all that, Elizabeth Howell, the daughter of Lyon Gardner, falls sick. And then she begins shrieking, "A witch, you have come to torture me." Well, her husband and the men feel reluctant, but they have to get Lyon Gardner. So they send someone across this all takes place around the village green in East Hampton. They send Lyon Gardner back they send somebody to get Lyon Gardner. He comes over, he finds his daughter at the foot of the bed yelling, "A witch, a witch. What do you see?" "A black thing at the bed's feet." Her struggle becomes more frenzied. Her husband tries to restrain her. And at last she exhausted herself. The next morning, Lyon Gardner found his daughter's condition had gotten worse. He decided to reform his wife. After several failed attempts to raise her from her own sickbed, Mary Gardner struggled across the village to the bedside of her daughter. "Oh, mother, I am bewitched." "Well, what do you mean? You're not. You're sleeping. You're dreaming." "No," she says. "I'm not asleep. I'm not dreaming. I'm bewitched. Who do you see?" And after some hesitation, she shrieks, "Goody Garlic. Goody Garlic. I see her at the corner of the bed and a black thing at the other corner." Goody was not her name. It's a title, Good Wife and Goodman. They shorted to Goody. Okay. Mary was obliged to return to her house in bed. Next day, 3 neighbors, Goody Birdsall, Ann Edwards, and Goody Simon, stood by as Elizabeth's afflictions intensified. She alternated between long periods of incoherence and clear and violent outcries. "She's a double-tongued woman. She pricks me with pins. She torments me." "Who torments me?" "Garlic. You laughed at me when I went crying away." Oh, boy. It's not going to get any better. Elizabeth continued to rant. "You're a pretty one. Send for the Garlics and his wife," she cried out. "I would tear her in pieces and leave the birds to pick her bones." Then, clutching her throat, Elizabeth gagged and choked. Okay, we're almost done.
Wow.
Elizabeth, parched by fever, coughed and sobbed, clutched her head in her throat as she descended deeper and deeper into delirium, surfacing now and then to give a voice to her torment. "Garlic, double-tongued, ugly things, pins." And she called out to her mother, and finally she grew quiet, and her torment ended with death. Now what happens? Come to the next town board meeting on February 15th, and we'll find out what happened and a real witch hunt here in East Hampton.
Cliffhanger. Thank you, Hugh. Okay, Carol, could you please read the meeting notice?
Please take notice that pursuant to Section 247 of the General Municipal Law of the State of New York and the provisions of the East Hampton Town Code, the Town Board of the Town of East Hampton will hold a public hearing in the Town Hall Meeting Room, 159 Panago Road, East Hampton, on Thursday, February 1st at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter as this matter may be heard, concerning the filing grant of scenic and conservation easement to the Town of East Hampton. The grantor is Pled Adet LLC. Michael Durrell is the managing member. It's a scenic and conservation easement dated September 9th. The location is 254 Old Montauk Highway in Montauk, Suffolk County Tax Map 38733. And the reviewing agency is the ZBA.
Great, thank you. Carol, do we have anyone signed up for this public hearing? Thank you. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to this public hearing? Please come up.
I'd like to also ask Hugh King if he wants to come read to the Child Care Center. That was excellent. So before I get started, we could use all the help we can get. Good evening. My name is Kelly Bloss. I'm a resident of Montauk and an assistant teacher at the Montauk Child Care Center.
Wait, I'm sorry, Kelly. This is the public hearing for the grant of scenic easement?
Oh,
So-
no, I'm early then.
Yeah.
A little early.
Next will be public hearing.
Yeah.
Public comments, Kelly.
So is there anyone here that wants to speak on this public hearing? Jason, is there anyone on the phone that wants to speak to this public hearing?
I have one caller on the phone. Yeah, and I'll unmute now.
Thank you.
Hello, caller ending 1842. You're on the air. One moment. Let me just double check this. Hello, caller ending 1842. You're on the air. And let me see if I can hear myself on... Yeah, I can hear myself on the phone line. And it just doesn't seem that they're at their phone. I'm just going to mute them for a second. And I'm just going to double check the phone line to make absolutely sure everything's 100%.
Thank you.
Checking 1, 2. Okay, everyone can hear me in the room?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yes,
Okay.
we can-
The phone lines are active and up. I'm just going to unmute that caller one more time and see if they are responsive now.
Thank you.
Hello, caller ending 1842. You are on the air.
Hi, thank you.
All right, you're on.
No comments from me. Thank you.
Your comments are for what?
I'm just listening in. Thank you.
Oh, he's listening in.
Oh, understood. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Very good. In that case, that's it.
Okay.
Motion to close?
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so now we can move on to public comment. Kelly, you're up.
My invitation still stands for Hugh King to come read to the Child Care Center. So good evening. My name is Kelly Bloss. I'm a resident of Montauk and an assistant teacher at the Montauk Child Care Center. I'd like to address the town board on the subject of the future of the Montauk Child Care Center. Early childhood education provides a partnership with families and a curriculum for children to develop and thrive physically, cognitively, socially, and emotionally. Enables families and guardians of young children to go to work. There's also a significant economic value and return on investment. Research from the Brookings Institute suggests early childhood education provides a return on investment ranging from $4 to $13 for every dollar spent, and that's achieved from impacts on educational attainment, employment health, truancy, and criminality. Just as we are investing in our seniors, we need to invest in the youngest members of our community. The Montauk Child Care Center provides valuable services to our community's teachers, first responders, local business people, and even our town board members and town attorney. We care for children ages 2 months to 5 years. Some are here this evening joining us, well-behaved, I might point out, via the aftercare for pre-K. During COVID, the center was open, so our first responders, teachers, and other essential services personnel could continue to service our community. This makes the Montauk Child Care Center an essential service. The current parent company of Montauk Child Care Center has requested to exit their contract. They referenced low enrollment. I want to make sure everybody appreciates that enrollment is a direct byproduct of the number of teachers available to safely care for children ages 2 months to 5 years. Montauk Child Care suffers from staff shortages due to the cost of living in the area. Staff churn is driven by the inability to affordably live here and the inability of sustaining daily commutes from as far west as Shirley. This challenge should sound familiar to the board. And just like we need affordable housing, we need affordable and available childcare. The demand for childcare far exceeds the supply. I personally can attest to the fact that 90% of the calls I field are parents checking on if and when they can enroll their children in a center. and we're blessed to have staff who sacrifice for and are dedicated to the children. The community needs to be served with continuity. The options for the future of the Child Care Center should include, but not be limited to, contracting with a licensed independent third party, extending the Montauk School District to include the center, the town of East Hampton taking over the center and retaining local leadership to actually operate the center. The request for proposal referenced should be drafted by a cross-functional team that understands the center's financial, legal, regulatory, and operational needs. Minimally, the Montauk Child Care Center Administrator, Pilar Prado, should be providing this input. She should also be engaged to provide input to the RFP response process, the scoring mechanism, and the selection process. Parents should also be engaged to provide input to the process. The timeline must accommodate the realities of effecting a seamless transition well before the May 3 deadline articulated. There must be a contingency plan in place. Nothing ever goes as planned, and an owner on the town board should be named and accountable for ensuring a smooth transition. Historically, the town has recognized the need for and has provided support to early childhood education. I believe the town needs to recognize its social responsibility to the community that needs these services. The town can take over the Montauk Child Care Center by hiring the staff and authorizing Pilar Prado to operate the center. Incremental funding for wages, benefits, insurance, and legal and regulatory compliance would be required. Paying premiums to a third party means funds flow outside of Montauk when they could be used for the children. I understand that over 20 years ago, the town ran a child care center in the village of East Hampton. I also understand that the town has funded Eleanor Whitmore Early Childhood $182,000 this year and $160,000 last year. The town is spending over $20 million on a senior center in East Hampton. I'd ask the board to seriously consider the option to take over the center and have it run by Pilar Prado. Pilar and her family are longstanding members of the Montauk community. She's worked at the center as a teacher and has been successfully running the center for years. She knows the business, she knows the families, she knows the staff, and she knows the children. That option offers the most seamless transition for the children, will reduce staff churn, assures families of continuity, and will be successful as the center has been operating on its own given the arm's length relationship it has had with its parent company. In closing, one of the most important aspects of this transition is communications. The parents are uneasy. The staff is uneasy. Both need to know the status on a weekly basis. Thank you for your time today, and I stand ready to ensure that the very youngest members of our communities and their families get the care and early childhood education they deserve. Our children are the future of the community. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Next up, Fallon.
So happy I'm facing you, not the crowd. All right. Okay. Good evening. I'm Fallon Nigro. Thank you guys so much in advance for just listening and hearing us out. And especially Tom, you've been awesome throughout this whole process. Great listener, and we really appreciate it. Okay, so Montauk Child Care Center has been a thread that has held together this community, not just Montauk residents, but working families in Springs, Amagansett, and East Hampton for the last 17 years. It is the only center from Montauk to Southampton that takes in children under 18 months old, starting as young as 6 weeks old. I know many of your children on the board have benefited from these amazing services as well. So devastatingly, the EOC has decided to pull out from their contract due to lack of sustainability, even after the grants and stipends were given from the state. In fact, they put themselves into a significant deficit. I do have the 5-year financials here. If you haven't seen them yourself, I'd be happy to share. But more importantly, here's a bit of insight about what goes on at Montauk Child Care Center now. And I would like to offer a few options that I believe would be a big help to keep affordable child care in Montauk. Sorry, I'm like in over there. The employees at the center are making $1,100 every 2 weeks after taxes. With this pay, it is impossible to keep people employed at the daycare because it is well below the cost of living here in the town of East Hampton, which in turn means the enrollment cannot be at maximum capacity due to the state laws requiring 1 teacher per 5 student ratio, and with younger children, 18 months and lower, 1 to 4. While most people would assume the Hamptons is a rich and well-to-do area, it's in fact the locals out here are struggling daily to make ends meet. This daycare is the only way most parents with 9 to 5 jobs are able to sustain their workload. The way most of us see it is that there are 4 options. 1, this goes to bid and a big company comes in and starts charging an exorbitant amount of money, making it no longer affordable in order to cover the deficits. 2, this goes to bid and a smaller company comes in and we're here again in 3 years. 3, no one takes over and we are left with no daycare at all. I know nobody wants that and I am not insinuating that, so I appreciate it. 4, the town of East Hampton steps in and makes this part of their yearly budget. It is clear that the only feasible option is to get the town involved. After all, it is the town board's job to represent its people, and I appreciate. Being said, there are 2 ways the town stepping in could work. I would like to propose that the town of East Hampton and the East Hampton Town Board invite the workers of the daycare to be part of the CSEA, the union that the other members in the town are a part of. The daycare is in a town building after all. Doing this may relieve some of the costs that add up for the daycare. I also believe that the employees deserve a fair wage that meets the cost of living. A second option would be to give the same amount of money to whichever group comes in to take over as the town gives Eleanor Whitmore to help offset some of those costs that are clear through this financial paperwork. I think both places are well deserving of receiving help from the town to help its own people. And I think matching the $182,000 and change that you can see with the resolution I have printed here. I know it was a unanimous decision and I appreciate it. I think childcare is so important. This is the right and just thing to do for the community when the time comes. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we were praising the essential workers, and now all over the country you're seeing them hang out to dry. This center did not close a single day in order to allow all of the other essential workers to continue their jobs, and something needs to be done here. I believe East Hampton Town Board, you hold the key. I have a lot more to say and I don't want to bother you and we're running out of time, but thank you so much for your time, guys. I appreciate everything you do for our community. I hope that we can work something out here together. Have a great night.
Thank you, Fallon.
Fallon, can you give that 5-year financial to the clerk?
Yeah. Sorry, not usually.
Thank you, Fallon.
Melissa Brennan?
Hi. I'm Melissa Brennan. My daughter has attended the center since she was 18 months old. I'm a single mother who lives and works for a local small business in Amagansett. I would love nothing more than to be able to send her to the free pre-K program that we have in town, but I spend the money to send her to the Montauk Center because I honestly need the coverage, as do most of the parents here today. I need to be able to, in order to afford to live out here, I need to be able to work full-time, and that center affords me the ability to do so. Even to the extent Miss Olga, who's here today, drives her home every day because I can't even make it to the center for closing. The teachers and parents of the center have become my village, and they make it possible for my daughter to thrive out here. Working families are the backbone of our town, and the best way to support them is to make sure they have access to affordable and comprehensive childcare, but also that our teachers and staff are adequately compensated for their amazing efforts that they put in every day. This way, we all can continue to work in our local businesses and make our community thrive. I know you believe this because I know you subsidized Eleanor Whitmore, so tonight I'm asking you guys to do the same for us. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa. David?
Hi guys. Nice. Thank you for hearing us today. I am here for 2
Just need
reasons.
to introduce yourself for the record.
David Piacente, owner of Naturally Good in Montauk, and also recently elected to the board of directors of the Montauk Chamber of Commerce. I'm here for two reasons today. Personally, my son goes there, and I just want I want people to understand that there are faces to this besides just a subject. And you can see from looking around here, you have teachers, we have business owners, we have chamber. I mean, there's a tremendous part of the Montauk community here that I see every day and drop off and pick up at the childcare. My son goes there, obviously, and it makes it possible for my wife, who's a nurse, to do her job in Southampton as well as I do my job at Naturally Good. As a business owner, I also have 3 employees who are 2 are single moms that also have their children here. This is kind of a surprise for us, being that it's May 4th. I mean, everyone thinks they have their childcare locked up going into the season. And for my workers to not be able to have childcare would require them not coming to work for me, which would, as you can see, would be a tremendous problem. So I am just here, and I will be done in the 3 minutes, to tell you guys that, it's not just that. It's more to it, because the businesses can't operate without their workers, and that's part of our economy too. So I just want you guys to have faces to go with the topic.
Thank you, David.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Mariah?
Good evening, town board members. Thank you for having us all here today. I stand here today to speak on behalf of the Montauk. Oh, I'm sorry, Mariah Mills here. I stand here today to speak on behalf of the Montauk Chamber of Commerce with a matter of urgent concern regarding the potential closure of Montauk's only public daycare center. Our daycare center plays a vital role in supporting local families and businesses alike. The closure of the daycare center would have far-reaching consequences that would create a serious impact throughout the town. Families, especially working parents, rely on the center to provide a safe environment for their children while they work to support their families. Without this essential service, parents may be forced to make difficult decisions, including leaving the workforce or relocating to areas with more accessible childcare. Furthermore, local businesses, including many of our own members, depend on the daycare center to help attract and retain employees. Access to reliable childcare is a significant factor for individuals when choosing where to work and where to live. The closure of the daycare center could hinder our ability to attract and retain a talented workforce, ultimately impacting the economic strength of our community. As a parent who utilizes the daycare center myself, the availability of childcare directly affects the capability for me to operate as the executive director of the chamber, and I know many of our members are in the same boat. We urge the town to take immediate action to prevent the closure of the Montauk's only public daycare center. This may include exploring funding options provided by the town, but it is imperative that we work together to ensure that we continue the operation of this invaluable resource for our community. The Montauk Chamber stands ready to support any efforts to safeguard the daycare center and address the challenges it faces. Thank you for your attention to this matter, and we look forward to the support in preserving the child care center. Thank you all.
Tom Bass?
Thank you for seeing me or listening to me. I'm a resident of East Hampton for 15 years, and I've noticed over the years, but I didn't do anything about the speeding and the drag racing, which I find to be horrific. And it's every day, especially like on Long Lane, Roberts, and Cedar. But on Martin Luther King Day at 1:30 in the afternoon, I noticed 2 cars had to go well over 120 miles an hour straight down Long Lane on opposite sides of the road. So if somebody was driving, a young kid or family members, that would have been a horrific accident. And I'd like to know, it's almost every day you can hear it when you're walking, driving, or whatever, the speeding. And I would like to know if they're doing anything, the town, and what they intend to do to stop it, because it's out of control. The kids or family, whoever's doing it, it is really endangering the people in this community. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
So Tom, if you want to leave either your cell number or your email address with the
My
clerk,
pleasure.
and we'll
thank you
have
for
some
having me. I appreciate
police
it.
department reach out to you.
And I'm sorry, I didn't catch your last name. Thank you.
See you.
Is there anyone else here that would like to address the board?
Oregon.
Jason, is there anyone on the line?
Yes, we have someone on the line, and I can unmute them right now. Hello, call ending 0.
Yes, hello.
There you are. You're up.
Great. Hello. Good evening. This is Carolyn Logan Glass calling from Wainscott. And I'd like to say good evening to Supervisor Burke Gonzalez, members of the town board. I'm calling on behalf of the family of Rick Del Mastro, notably his widow, Cynthia, and daughter, Jen. Also, Sally Sunshine, head of the CAC Wainscott Green Subcommittee, and Sarah Davison, the executive director of Friends of Georgia Capond. Tonight I'm wearing my Wainscott CAC hat, and we all wish to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for your support for the construction of a new picnic shelter at Wainscott Green. This has been on our radar screen for a while, and the resolution on the agenda for this evening fulfills one of the to-dos in the management plan, and I think is going to really contribute to the welcoming character of the Green, which is a tranquil spot in a busy gateway to East Hampton. We have beautiful signage now. We have appropriate fencing at the access points to the roads. We have 4 benches that have been contributed by members of the community and 2 dogwood trees, and this is going to round out that picture ever so nicely. So just wanted to say thank you, all members of the town board, especially Kathy, you for getting us out of the starting gate, and most especially David, thank you for getting us to the finish line. So thank you very much, and good night.
Thank you, Carolyn. Jason, is there anyone else on the line?
We had that one caller who was listening before. They're still on the line. Do you want me to mute them and see if they wanted to talk during public comment?
You might as well try.
Yeah. Hello, caller ending 1842.
I'm still listening in.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
I'm good.
Okay, good. All right, cool. That would due diligence done.
So we'll go one more time. Does anybody else want to address the board? Okay, so then we'll move to...
Can I say something?
Sure.
Madam Supervisor, so I sit here as a council member, and I speak for myself, but I think Tom and I have taken parallel paths here. I wouldn't be here without the Montauk Child Care Center. We've sent 4 children there, probably more than anyone else. Pilar, your leadership, and Kelly,
yes,
and everyone
David.
else, you've done a fantastic job, not just for Montauk, but for East Hampton. I think, David, you said it right. The faces that are out there, the individuals of the working families here are needed. Tom has taken a great lead on this. Unfortunately, the situation is here. The board, I know, is supportive of quality, affordable childcare, and that's something that's top priority for the board to move upon right now. We understand that loud and clear. For you to come out and your children to come out also means a lot to be putting forward on there. I promise you we will work hard to try to get some type of real quick, sturdy, and some resolution to this. And we guarantee we're going to work extremely hard on it, loud and clear.
I just want to add one thing to that to show we're not tone deaf to this either. I understand the concept of an RFP might be daunting to you, but to the point of what we're hearing this evening, we have to leave all options open because childcare in Montauk is critical. And, the ability to operate it, we have to find the best operator. They will be reviewed, and they will be reviewed with compassion and understanding of what this facility means to Montauk. So as you hear the resolution, please understand why it is on the order tonight.
You want to come up? If you come to the podium, please, and just introduce yourself.
Hi, Casey Boyle, Montauk resident, small business owner in town. Do you really think that 90 days is enough time to conduct a thorough and considerate RFP process? I mean, it took 60 days for us to write the RFP. It feels like if we're thinking about staff retention, we're thinking about the blue collar families, I worry deeply that we're going to be able to find an affordable operator, a competent operator, and one that's going to be able to maintain the quality that we're so fortunate to experience in Montauk right now. Do you think 90 days is enough?
It's what we're working with at this point. As we get in the proposals, we will see. It's, we don't have, the existing operator has stated May 3rd is their exit date. So that's what we have to work towards irrespective. So the RFP process has been designed to move as quickly as possible to review potential operators as such.
Has there been any, desire to try and get them to stay longer throughout the course of the year, fulfill any budget shortfalls? It seems like if we could put a Band-Aid on this for the year and give ourselves, 8-9 months to conduct a thorough RFP, we'd be in a much better position here.
We have had conversations with them. Their decision to leave is been pretty clear.
Has it been offered to make this revenue neutral for them?
We have not as such done that.
Do you think that would be helpful?
Potentially. It's something that we'll discuss as we review the RFP process.
From our vantage point, East Hampton's getting this money for their children. We're not. If you can at least make them whole for the year and conduct a thorough RFP process, we'd have a lot more peace of mind. Staff would have a lot more peace of mind. Small business owners like myself would have a lot more peace of mind.
I as a small business owner as well, I absolutely understand what you're
90
saying.
days is not enough.
Casey, we will try our best.
Thank you.
Okay, so we can move to resolutions. Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, never mind.
There's more folks.
I'm not sure what the protocol is.
Say your name again.
Yeah, my name is Kelly Bloss, again. I'm not sure what the protocol is, but it strikes me as odd that an RFP has been written and let to the street without any involvement from at least the administrator from the center. I just don't understand how that is happening around us. The staff has not had any formal communication from EOC of Suffolk. So the communication void that's going on, it gets at what Casey's talking about. People are scrambling for childcare. They're scrambling for their job. It's going to make it a very, very volatile situation. And I guess I'd like to hear a little bit more details about what has happened up to this point, such that we're moving forward full speed ahead on an RFP without any participation from people who know the center day to day. Can the board address that and address what type of communication is going to happen and what frequency? So that we all understand what's happening, when it's happening, what our options are?
Sure, I'll speak to that a little bit. So as you know, I came into government January 2nd. I think it was on day 3 or 4 that I was made aware of this issue. My initial reaction was to reach out to EOC and understand what was driving their decision. We talked with them. We kind of reviewed where the situation was at, and after discussions, we decided we needed to go to RFP to ensure we had some options for coverage come May 3rd, irrespective. So in terms of actually the communication with the facility, we didn't make that decision until we were absolutely certain that they were not willing to move forward with running the operation. In terms of us reaching out to Pilar and her being involved with the process, there could be a potential conflict of interest there. If she were to be the operator, we can't disclose RFP process to her. So in terms of that, it's following government procedure to ensure that this is a blind bid as much as possible. The government is not showing any favoritism to any potential operator. But rest in mind, we have worked with the RFP process to ensure it. Now, Montauk is unique in its nature. I understand that fully. I've lived there myself for a while, and my kids have been there, and I've run my stores there for a long time. I get the challenges. So, as I've said to my fellow board members, as and when we come to review the RFP proposals, we will take that into consideration. But we understand that it's complex, but we do have to follow specific government procedures in order for this to be legal.
Is the RFP itself publicly available?
Yes, I will be reading it out this evening.
Yeah.
Do you have any plans to fund?
Wait, this isn't,
Not ask questions?
well, typically no, but if the councilman is willing to answer them, you have to come up to the podium because the folks at home won't hear you from the audience.
Is there any plans right now to publicly fund the daycare?
We have to wait and see what we get from the RFP. And if we were to disclose that up front, that implicates the RFP itself. So we can't comment on that at this point.
Okay. And from your
RFP that you'll see, Casey, goes out today, comes back on February 27th.
fantastic, and I just want to clarify
And so
that you guys were aware.
I'll just finish 1 second.
Oh,
So
sure,
it
please.
comes back on the 27th. It gets reviewed immediately from there if there's responses to it. But there's also parallel tracks that we've heard loud and clear that the town will have to consistently look at right now. So why is it on today? Because there's no time to wait right now. Okay, so this has to go out immediately, get out, and that's why it's out there
So,
based on
respect that.
other ones
But
we've done.
I just want to make one point of clarification. Tom, I understand you were new joining the board, but the board was aware of this potential vacancy as early December, right? So, we're 60 days into that process without the staff knowing, without any of the parents knowing. That has tremendous repercussions on our personal lives and on our businesses. And the fact that we weren't notified sooner that this was made in the 11th hour makes us feel like we haven't been heard. And quite frankly, I think it's a fundamental failure on the town's part.
Thank you for your comments.
Resolutions. Resolution 2024-197 is for the approval of claims in the amount of $835,556.08 and $1,555,976.94 for utility warrant 2A, $1,199.38 and $38,172.37.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-198. This is for a MASH casualty training event that will take place at the 555 location in East Hampton on April 21st. Amagansett. Sorry, thank you. April 21st, 2024.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Resolution 2024-199 is for the town board's authorized payment to Winsper Safety Services for a cost of $600 payable from budget account 8991-54500.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Resolution 24-200 is to appoint 3 additional members to the Anti-Bias Task Force: Anna Skrenta, Jack Perna, and Chief Mike Tracy.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
2024-201. This is for proposal and RFP for an infant to 4-year-old childcare service provided at the Montauk Playhouse. The RFP is available as of today. Proposals are due 2/27/24.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. I'd like to offer Resolution 2024-202. This is for the Bailey to schedule a public hearing for a notice of public hearing for a CPF project plan addition. This potential property is located at, let me just get the 71 Navy Road, Montauk, tax map 300-27-2-7.1. The town board would like to amend the plan as most recently adopted in 2021 to add this acreage of land to which is reportedly owned by William and Marianne Bailey. The public hearing again will be held on February 15th at 6 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2024-203, this is for Bailey, notice of public hearing for CPF project plan, property acquisition. This is the scheduled public hearing for the real property acquisition. The purported owner is William and Marianne Bailey. The location is 71 Navy Road, Montauk, Suffolk County Tax Map 300-27-2-7.1. Purported purchase price is $1,050,000. The public hearing will be held on February 15th, 2024 at 6 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2024-204 is a notice of public hearing to amend Chapter 240 of Vehicle and Traffic, Section 240-61, Schedule 12, parking prohibited at all times for a portion of North Main Street. The intent of this legislation is to prohibit parking along a section of the easterly side of North Main Street as requested by the Suffolk County Department of Public Works. The location would be North Main Street. It's the east side. The location would be 50 feet north and 85 feet south from Suffolk County Tax Map parcel number 300-163-7-.002, more commonly referred to as 144 North Main Street. The public hearing will be held also on February 15th at 6 p.m.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2024-205 is appoint and promotion to custodial worker 2, Miguel Pinkay. In accordance with the CSEA contract, this position has been posted from January 16th to January 29th, 2024. And Mr. Pinkay meets the minimum qualifications for this position. Let it be known that he's promoted to the full-time position of custodial worker 2 in the Buildings and Grounds Department.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. 206 is a change for a budget account for part-time custodian. This is for the budget account for Tri-Nywin, is A1620.51200 with no change in the hourly rate or schedule effective retroactive to October 23, 2023.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
207 is to amend the recreational titles in Resolution 2024-23. Resolved that Shakaya Guerrero's title is Recreational Aid 2, and there is no change in the hourly rate budget account listed in the Resolution 2024-23.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. I'd like to offer Resolution 2024-208. This is to accept the donation from the Friends of George Capon, whereas the Wayne Scott Green Committee recently made a presentation to the town board for the installation of a picnic shelter at the Wayne Scott Green, located in the Rick Del Mastro Memorial Park, located at 378 Montauk Highway, Wayne Scott. And whereas the Friends of George Capon, through generous donations by the Del Mastro family and others, seek to donate a picnic shelter and associated labor costs for the installation, now therefore it be resolved that the town hereby accepts the donation of the picnic shelter and installation costs at an estimated of $34,200, and that this project shall abide by the prevailing wage requirements, and the town should be provided with appropriate insurances by the contractor.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Thank you very much, everyone, for that. 2024-209 is to approve the facilities use agreement for training in the YMCA Aquatic Center for 2024, whereas the YMCA is requesting the town enter into a facilities use agreement to utilize the YMCA and Aquatic Center for the junior lifeguard, Nipper programs, and lifeguard training and conditioning programs on Sundays from March 3rd, 2024 through June 23rd, 2024 from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at no cost to the town.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. 210 is a 2023 budget modification for the fuel facility, where we're bringing from budget line for fuel purchases in the amount of $100 to the budget line for building maintenance in the same amount of $100.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. 211, accept bid EH 24-002. This is for the Oak Grove Cemetery expansion tree removal for Jackson, Dodds and Company. And he was the lowest the company was the lowest qualified bidder at the amount of $20,875.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. 2024-212 is amend Resolution 2023-1273 AH. This is a 2024 agreement with the Village of Sag Harbor, East Hampton Road Protection District. Resolved that item number 3 shall now read as follows: the fire protection services during the 12-month period of 2024, Sag Harbor Village shall be paid on or before February 1st, 2024, the sum of $41,784.97. And for ambulance protection services during the 12-month period in 2024, Sag Harbor Village shall be paid on or before February 1st, 2024, $25,025.49. And from such funds, the fire department shall be paid directly in the sum of $8,848.78 on or before February 1st, 2024. And the ambulance corps shall be paid directly the sum of $2,871.27 on or before February 1st, 2024. The town's total cost for the fire protection and ambulance services under the contract is $66,810.46.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
213 is to increase the cap for the law offices of Con and Con, PC 2023. They were retained by Resolution 2023 235 on February 7th, 2023. And there's an increase in the required such funding to be capped at $10,000. An increase shall be capped at $10,000, constituting a total of $40,000 for the calendar year 2023.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
I have Resolution 2024-214, which is a list appointment from provisional account clerk for Rhonda Daniels. And this is whereas the Suffolk County Department of Human Resources, Personnel and Civil Service has given an examination for account clerk, and Rhonda Daniels is reachable. Resolved that Rhonda Daniels be and is hereby appointed to the position of account clerk in the Purchasing Bureau of Administration with no change in hourly rate or budget account, effective retroactive to December 8th, 2023.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-2015 is list appointment and promotion to account clerk for Don Tuthill. And this is whereas the Suffolk County Department of Civil Service has given an examination for account clerk. Don Tuthill is reachable on the list. Resolved that Don Tuthill be and is hereby promoted to the full-time position of account clerk in the building department at the hourly rate of $26.52, which is $55,158.27 annually, grade 19, step 1, for a 40-hour work week, and this is effective February 12th, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolution 2024-216 is to adopt a local law amending Chapter 255, Section 255-11 purposes, and this is whereas the town board held a public hearing on October 5th, 2023, to consider a local law entitled "A Local Law Amending Chapter 255, Section 255-11 Purposes," and whereas after considering the proposed local law and comments received at the time of the hearing, the town board believes that the adoption of the proposed local law is in the best interest of the town, and whereas the Suffolk County Planning Commission determined that the proposed legislation is a matter for local determination, and whereas the town of East Hampton has determined that the adoption of the proposed local law is a Type 2 action pursuant to the New York State Environmental Quality Act, (SECRA), and Chapter 128 Environmental Quality Review of the Town Code. Therefore, be it resolved, and the full text is available in the resolution.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Abstain.
You want to take a roll call, Carol?
Abstain.
Aye.
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 Resolution 2024-217 is a payout upon resignation for Anna Scorsese, and this is where Anna has resigned her full-time position as an environmental analyst with the Department of Natural Resources effective December 8th, 2023, and in audited time records indicate that she has accrued vacation time, a balance of 40 hours, and an accrued compensatory time balance of 18 hours. Therefore, it now be resolved that Anna, the finance office, be authorized to cut a check through payroll for for a gross total of $1,821.64.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Resolution 2024-2018 is Ditch Plains Beach Survey 2024, and this is whereas the town of East Hampton has determined that a survey of the beach at Ditch Plains is needed for restoration of the beach profile to combat climate change and increase coastal resiliency, and whereas the surveyor will determine the quantity of sand needed to restore the beach profile, now therefore be it resolved that the firm of Robert H. Fox, DBA, Sea Level Mapping is hereby retained to perform the required survey as referenced above for a cost not to exceed $3,600 as per proposal dated 1/26/2024. And further resolve that Robert H. Fox, DBA Sea Level Mapping, is hereby retained to perform the required survey.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-219. This is to accept a proposal, RFP number EH 2024-101, to award professional management services for Camp Hero wastewater system to CMJ Greywater, the total amount of a fixed price of $10,800.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is number 2024-220, to pay out upon retirement, Francis Bach, who recently retired from the Community Development Housing Technician with the Department of Housing and Community Development, to pay for vacation time, sick time, and compensatory time in the total amount of $3,727.38.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2024-221 is a list appointment from provisional account clerk for Bridget Canavan, and this is with no change in hourly rate or budget amount, effective retroactive to January 3rd, 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 2022 is to appoint Senior Assistant Town Attorney Jacob Turner at the annual salary of $120,000, prorated based on hire date for a 30-hour work week, effective February 12th, 2024 for calendar year 2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2023 is a provisional appointment and promotion to accountant for John Lara, and this is to the full-time position of accountant at the annual salary of $77,343.34 for a 40-hour work week effective February 12th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2024-224 is it's to authorize Harbor Master Derek Paulson and Harbor Master Melanie Anderson to attend the DCJS Missing Persons Clearinghouse Course, Aquatic Death and Homicidal Drowning Investigation Training, sponsored by the Division of Criminal Justice, and the financial impact is $1,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
225 is a payout upon retirement for police officer Anthony Bosco. Anthony Bosco retired from his full-time position of police officer with the East Hampton Town Police Department effective December 12th, 2023, and audited time records indicate that he has an accrued vacation time balance of 53 days, accrued sick time balance of 99.125 days, and an accrued personal time balance of 4 days. And so his payout will be a gross total of $83,275.37.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
226 is a payout upon retirement for police officer Timothy Lazuda. Timothy Lazuda retired from his full-time position of police officer with the East Hampton Town Police Department effective December 29th, 2023, and audited time records indicate he has accrued vacation time balance of 38 days, accrued sick time balance of 48 and a half days, and an accrued personal time balance of 3.25 days for a gross total payout of $47,008.70.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
227 is an employee payout for Joanne Pilgrim. Audited time records indicate that Ms. Pilgrim has accrued 403.25 hours of vacation time and 122.23 hours of compensatory time for a total payout of $23,997.36.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
228 is for Sergeant Nicholas Lloyd and Police Officer Lucas Plitt to be reimbursed for out-of-pocket expenses for uniforms needed for motorcycle patrol in an amount not to exceed $2,500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
229 is for professional filing services, Gerald Weinberger, PC, attorneys at law, and this is a total cost per service of $25.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
230 is to amend budget accounts in Resolution 2024-89. This is for Nicholas Corsitas, and this is so that 50% come out of the A fund and 50% comes out of the B fund.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
231 is to retain Con and Con PC for the Maidstone Gun Club for 2024 in an amount not to exceed the sum of $15,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
232 is to increase the cap for John C. Amartano Esquire and Philip Butler Esquire in the law firm of Farrell Fritz PC for 2023. This is outside counsel related to professional secra legal services, and this is constituting a total of $14,607.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
233 is to authorize a lease for equipment with the FAA, and this is for space. It's actually a renewal of a lease for the FAA to maintain its equipment installation at the town airport, and it is subject to permissive referendum.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
234 is to accept additional funds from the Wainscott Commercial Center for 2024, and this is in the amount of $25,000 to pay professional fees associated with the review of the environmental impact statement.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
235 is to authorize the town attorney to hire appraisers and surveyors to assess the value of contemplated rights in non-CPF real property in an amount not to exceed $15,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
236 is a refund for alarm fees to the East Hampton Union Free School District in the amount of $1,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
237, I'd like to make a motion to withdraw.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
238 is to accept bid EH 23-057, purchase and install motors on marine patrol vessels, and this goes to Seacoast Enterprise Associates, Inc., in the amount of $98,331.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
239 is... So, I'm sorry, say that again?
Actually take it out of there. They're not getting money back.
Oh.
It's to exempt them.
Okay.
236.
So just, I'll take out that in the amount of 1,000, you say you can take it out.
Okay. You want to second?
Yes, I'll second Resolution 2024-236 as amended.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so now I'm up to Resolution 239, reject bid EH 23-051, tree clearing for 403 Abraham's Path, Amagansett.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ian, you have one last resolution.
This one?
No, it's
This one.
240.
Resolution 240, this is to amend the Resolution 2024-152, Annual Maintenance Town Clerk Licensing System. And the total amount is $617.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Did you have another resolution you needed to bring? No? Okay. Is there any other matters that folks want to bring up?
Is that,
We don't have an exact topic.
we got one for contracts.
You want to do that tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
I make a motion to go into executive session to discuss contracts.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So why don't we do that give a couple minutes for the room to clear?
We'll stay and do it here.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight.
Thanks, guys.